Hey guys, this is a recording from my locals a few weeks back. I am on the left playing my Hero Frog deck, and my friend is on the right playing his Flamvell deck. So he goes first, and I open up with a Prodigy's Kai's combo. I know he's playing Spy, so I was trying to get rid of Spy, but I ended up hitting a Plague Spreader, which is just as good. Burn him for 1k, get in there for 24. But then he returns the favor, pretty much does the same exact thing to me next turn, summoning Cyber Dragon and Caius to manage my Caius. So we're tied up at the moment, but he still has a Caius on the board. Um, so I thought that was pretty funny. Playing two very different decks, but it did almost the exact same play. So I set this Treeborn here, and I immediately get punished because he summons Fire Dog, getting his +1 and his Flamvell Magician. Getting in there for another 14 plus 24 is 38. So very quickly, turn I think 3 this is, I'm already down to 800 life. And I've done very little so far. And he makes a Synchro right here in main phase 2. He's a good player, so he makes Thought Ruler. Really good because I actually did have the enemy control in my hand, so good read on his part. If he had just making a Stardust, that would have been pretty good because I could take it and then run over his monster. But he does the right thing and he makes Thought Ruler here. So I have to do a suboptimal play. I do Econ, I take the Kais instead, but I can't even, run over his monster. So I just summon a Substitoad and decide to use it to set up a dupe block, I believe. So here I'm just like going through the frogs and just cycling through the whole deck. I forget what I leave in the deck. I'm not sure if I left any frogs or if I just went through the whole thing. I think in this position, since I'm down to 800, like the right move is definitely to go through all the frogs to thin the deck out, and hope to draw into something like a Hero and Miracle Fusion. I think right here what happened was I actually had the dupe frog in my hand, so I have to summon the swap frog and bounce it back to my hand, summoning the dupe in attack mode, which is always super suboptimal because if they can get rid of the first dupe, then the second dupe is in attack mode, and I'm at really low life. But I do have a Miracle Fusion right here. I had the Prodigy in the grave, so he bottle misses there. I trade, go 1 for 2, attack him for 200 damage, and then unfortunately here he does have Chaos Sorcerer, which is live. He has the Cyber Dragon, and I'm pretty sure he had another monster in his hand, so he could just attack over my Dupe Frog that was in attack mode. So that's game one. Game one, took some big damage early on. That's how you beat frogs. Like, you got to be aggressive with them really early on, and don't give them a chance to start building up their resources and establishing themselves. So if you could do a lot of damage to frogs early on, that's a pretty good way to approach playing them. First turn, set up my Treeborn, swap frog, standard play, bounce it back. I don't think I have any Battle Fader or Gores in my hand, which is not ideal. Makes DD Warrior Lady, gets in there for 15, and then follows it up with a spicy side deck tech Prohibition. He calls Treeborn Frog. So my Treeborn's offline. A really interesting ruling. You guys might want to double check this, but I read this somewhere in the Edison Discord that if you have a Treeborn that's already on the field when Prohibition is activated, if that Treeborn hits the grave, you're allowed to activate its effect to bring itself back. But then if it hits the grave again, then you cannot bring it back anymore. Kind of like, since it was already on the field, it gets like special privileges to not be affected by Prohibition, but then when it leaves the field, it gets like reset or something like that. Kind of weird. I Econ, get in there for 16, tribute his D Warrior Lady, and decide to go for a dupe block here, I think. I'm pretty sure I'm just dupe blocking here. Maybe I'm soft blocking. But my Treeborn's offline, so I need to do my best to stay alive. Okay, I think I opened up the dupe frog again, question mark, and had to bounce it back and summon an attack mode, which is not good. In hindsight, well, I've been experimenting with taking out the dupe frogs, like siding them out when my opponent's deck has very easy outs to them. I think his deck struggles with the dupe frog a little bit, so I think it's fine. But against other decks like Diva Hero, where they have like triple Caius and obviously Ab-Zeros and all that jazz, I've been taking the dupe frogs out because they're just not good. and or maybe, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I've been testing it out, taking them out for like snowman eaters and stuff. It's been working out decently. I feel like going for the dupe lock just never really feels too good, and these snowman eaters are extra normal summons or normal sets. So, but I guess it does potentially hurt the consistency. So he actually does have a pretty solid out to the dupe lock. He has Descendant, so he pops the dupe frog. He pops the dupe frog. Why did he pop the one in attack position? Okay, I guess it doesn't really matter. Well, no, it does matter. He probably should have popped the one in defense position, then use Dark End to get rid of my Stratos, and then attack the attack position one for 2k. Instead, he just attacks for 300. I'm not sure exactly why he didn't do that. That's probably a misplay, unless I'm missing something. But I do have. Oh, I don't have the Kai's. Okay, I do have Prodigy and Malicious Edge, which is enough to get over the Dark End. And this is nice because since it's an evil hero, I get to draw in the end phase, which, you know, not bad, not bad. Kai's would have been better, but this is not bad. Main phase 2, I decided to just thin the deck out some more. Treeborn's dead, so I'm like, I need an out to this Prohibition. I'm just going to thin the deck out and try to dig a little bit deeper. So that's what the Swap Frog was, and then we get the draw in the end phase for the Prodigy that was tributed. So this Prohibition is actually pretty nice. It's been holding me off for quite a bit. Summon Sork, banishes. Okay. Let's see here. I think at some point I draw a Dust Tornado, but I think it's a little while longer until I'm finally able to add the Prohibition. Here I'm just like trying to thin the deck even more. Oh, I might have misplayed here. I think I think I did misplay. Did I misplay? No. I wanted to special summon this Swap Frog. I don't have any more targets in the grave for the Swap Frog, or in the deck to send with Swap Frog, but I did want to special summon it so I can normal summon this Caius. He hits my Mirror Force, which doesn't feel good because it would have been pretty relevant right here. But we're chilling, we're chilling. I think we can make this last a little bit longer. So Alias, pretty nice card to get over his current board and the current game state. Alias is also just really nice to get over Fossil Dino when they slide that in. It's come up a number of times. Here, I'm like, oh, fuck, his Fire Dog. Please don't have Book of Moon, because if he has Book of Moon, then I'm going to be in a really bad spot. But he doesn't have Book of Moon, so he just crashes, which is, you know, I'm not upset about that. But he is filling up his grave for Rekindling, which I don't think he sees in this entire match, unfortunately. He hits me with a Cyber Dragon, Caius 1-2 punch. And now I'm in not a good spot. I think I'm chilling on a Battle Fader or 2 in my hand. So we're not that scared, but here I decide to finally get rid of the Prohibition just to get this Treeborn online. Because I need some things to save myself. Maybe I don't have the Battle Fader at this point. I'm not sure. And then here, I think I just end up passing. Yeah, I just straight up pass to him. And just hope he, you know, doesn't have it. It's interesting. He's thinking about attacking this Treeborn. I think he ends up not attacking it. I think the thought process there is if he you know, top decks a Fire Dog, it's nice to have that monster to be ran over. I'm not really sure what his exact logic is. Or maybe he's trying to banish it with another Caius. I don't know. But maybe he just figures there's no point since it's going to come back next turn anyway. Might as well just leave it on the field for those reasons. So set 1 pass. I'm just chilling here. He, once again, doesn't attack it. Here, I probably would have attacked it just because I have a back row, and that forces me to activate the back row if I want the Treeborn to come back. So I personally would have attacked the Treeborn if I were him. But maybe he's also just afraid that the back row is... I don't really know, because he got rid of Mirror Force, and like frogs don't really play any battle traps. It's going to be chainable anyway, so I'm not sure. I probably would have attacked there. Raiko hits my back row. I have to tribute this Treeborn with Econ to take his Caius, so I live. And that basically lets me live for one more turn, I think. He might have had a game, or I probably have Battle Fair at this point, but... yeah. So he makes Flamvell Urquizus. I'm not really sure why he makes this over Goyo or Brio. I think at this point, so he was still pretty new to this deck, and I think he thought that Flamvell Urquiasis had 200 defense and could be reborn with rekindling, but it actually only has 300 defense, so you can't do that. It's like one of the Flamvells that, I mean, they obviously thought about it and didn't want you to be able to reborn a level 6 synchro with rekindling, but I think that's why he made that right there over some other level 6 like Goyo or Brio to try to push, but he didn't have any cards in his hand to discard for Brio, I think. But I'm obviously super desperate right here. I brain controlled with no way to convert the Caius other than to get rid of his monster and summon Ocean. And oh, he does have another Caius. Okay, another Caius, but I have another Treeborn, which is solid. And I am, what am I doing right here? I have the Ryza, and okay, that is lucky. So Ryza, he scoops it up right there, so that kind of makes me think that the other card in his hand was dead. I mean, it must have been, because the Caius is going back to the top of deck, and if he doesn't have anything, then he's going to draw that again next turn. Okay, game three. Game three. He's going first. What are we doing here? Oh, I special summon. Okay, special summon swap, put the Ocean in the grave. Load of the grave for the Miracle Fusion, which, Miracle Fusion, everyone knows this, but that's a fucking dumb card. Like, that is, in my opinion, like, I think that's probably the best card in Edison, especially because you can run 3. Like, it's so high impact for so low effort, it's just like a stupid card. But, I mean, it is what it is. So, bounce the swap fire back to my hand, set 1. I think I'm chilling on a Snowman Eater here, question mark. Which is pretty good against that deck or other, aggro decks, especially this one, and similar to how it's really good against, sure. Okay, never mind. It was a Dupe Frog. Sorry about that. Again, I don't know if I should be leaving these in or out against that deck. I think against Flamvell, it's actually pretty solid. They have a decently hard time getting over this. I try to crash and trade, but he does have a D-Prison. Not great for me. And we passed it up and hope this Dupe Frog can get us there, but that's not happening because he actually bluffed me the fuck out and he set this Flamvell Magician probably to, I mean, assuming that I would think it was like a Raikou or a Hamster or Gravekeeper Spy, which I did. It worked, and I get punished for it. He has a Gale to get over my Dupe Frog. And over here, it's interesting. He decides not to synchro main phase 2 with any of these monsters. I'm not entirely sure why, other than just to like keep more bodies on the field. And like if he makes a synchro and I econ it, that could be, worse for him. But I don't know. I guess he also doesn't have any back row to protect. Like if he had a back row, then he definitely would have made Stardust, but he doesn't. So he just leaves all these bodies on the board. Interesting play. Maybe he also just really wants his Fire Dog to stay on the board. But this is pretty much telling me that he doesn't have Rekindling, because if he had Rekindling, obviously he would have synchroed the Fire Dog and the Magician. So he's basically telegraphing that he doesn't have Rekindling. In that case, maybe he even should have like synchroed. I don't know if that's a good enough reason. But I make this Ab-Zero, and he ends up getting punished for not making specifically Stardust. Like if he made another synchro, well, even if he made Stardust, I could just crash this Ab-Zero into the Stardust and wipe out his field. But I tribute the Ab-Zero with for Substitoad, nuke his field, and I bring out 2 Swap Frogs, and I'm not sure if I left anything in the deck at this point. I kind of hope I didn't. Maybe, I'm not sure what the other Dupe Frog is. It might be in my hand. But hit in there, try to hit in there for 21, but he drops the Gores on after the Substitoad, after the Swap Frog, I think. Main phase 2, I leave the Treeborn in the deck, interestingly. Maybe I'm afraid of like Soul Release or something. I don't know. I kind of tend to leave the Treeborn in for as long as I can post sideboard. But in this case, maybe I should have thinned the deck out. I'm not really sure. I probably should have thinned it out, to be honest. Like, I haven't seen a DD Crow. I haven't seen a soul release yet, so I probably should have thinned the deck out so I don't draw that that Treeborn. But we're chilling here. I think I just topped a Snowman Eater, so we're gonna wall up and try to live a little bit longer. He is in a pretty decently commanding position at the moment, and all he needs to do is top deck one Rekindling, and I'd be so fucked. But somehow he doesn't draw any of his 3 Rekindlings. Like his grave is completely stacked. I would be so screwed. But we're chilling. We're chilling. We're still in this game. Now I finally get the last Treeborn out of there. I should have probably done that a while ago. Bounce back to my hand, and I must have a Battle Fader or something. Otherwise, this could be GG. Ooh. So he summons a Fire Dog, but luckily he doesn't have any more targets in the deck. He has 2 Flamvells in the grave, and I think he sided out one of the Magicians because I think he was playing 3 at this point. So luckily, no more Magicians. I do have the other Battle Fader, and I'm trying to think about how to get back in this game. I see a Miracle Fusion in my hand. I think now is probably a good time to use it since he has so many monsters on the board as collateral. So we do drop that. It's at 3k right now because of Treeborn, and I think I just decide to maybe attack over the Caius here. Let's see what I do. Okay, yep, we just attack over the Caius, and we're just going to chill on this Ab-Zero. It's offering us a good amount of protection at the moment. And I know he has no more Flamvell Magicians, so he can't even synchro for Stardust or anything. Okay, he trades, wipes out his board, pops my Ab-Zero. Okay, okay. And at this point, I'm like, holy shit, show me the Rekindling. Like, honestly, I wanted him to have the Rekindling because that would just be an awesome way to end this match. But he doesn't have the Rekindling. But he does have a Lila, which he interestingly summons here, I believe. Oh, not interestingly. Sorry, he has a Chaos Sorcerer in his hand. Yeah, he Lila, and he has Chaos Orc Live because he has the Raikou. And now he's putting the pressure on me, and you know, I think that's a pretty solid move, banishing the Treeborn and whatnot. Luckily, we put the second one in previously, and here I have a very spicy play, super spicy. I almost felt a little bit bad. Like this just feels so good. Luckily, I have enough life points for this Brain Con. I hit a Mirror Force, which is huge. Then summon Caius, banish his Chaos Sorcerer. That is like one of the most satisfying sequences I've seen. I did misplay. I should have summoned this Swap Frog in attack mode, and well, I don't know. I might have done that on purpose. He would just need to summon one monster, and then I would have totally been screwed right there, but that was that. All right. Thanks, guys.